Hey MP Squad, welcome to 2-Minute Tuesdays, where this week's video is all about filing your taxes. Let's do it. This is going to be super simple. When you own a business like Monat, you want to declare your income along with your other income. So let's, for instance, say that I work for a ministry. I will make sure to include my T4 from my regular job, and Monat will issue a T4A, which you might already have gotten, and I will declare that with my other work. Because you own a small business, you do not need a business number because you are an independent worker. So don't worry about that. And you don't need an HST number unless you make over $30,000. I'm not there yet, aiming for that for sure. But so don't have to worry about that either. I do not file my taxes myself. This is a system I use to document everything and to give my accountant all the information so that she could give me the most for my return as possible, while keeping in the parameters of what's possible to be refunded through a small business. So to do that, I've uploaded a file onto MP Squad. Under Files, you will see Taxes Small Business Blank Template. So this is what I used myself when I had a small business. I worked various contracts, so this was very helpful for me. And my accountant loved doing my taxes because it was super simple. All right, so I've opened that up. These are the two simple things you need. First, this Excel sheet, and second, I bought this accordion folder at Staples. I think it has 12 dividers, which this template has 13 categories where you can declare income or expenditures for your small business. And really it's not income, it's mostly expenditures that we keep track of in this grid. But anyways, if you could get a 13 divider, that's even easier. I manage with just 12. So what I do is with all these little tabs, what I have a tab for each of these tabs. So the first one I have here would be capital allowance. And inside this folder, I have a post-it that says what I can claim, which is also reflected in this grid. So on this post-it, if you read along, it says check percentage allowed. And then it says with continuing value at end of the year. Car, computer software, audio, video equipment, office furniture. So if I don't have my Excel grid and I get a receipt from Monat, I can say, oh yeah, this was, I bought Word for my computer so that I can write emails and have spell check to clients before submitting it to them, let's say, then I would put this one in that folder without even having to look at this document. So it's kind of a foolproof system. I like the size of this folder because I could put it in my glove compartment. I can easily put it in my backpack. It's not a honking big thing. The other thing is that I end up recycling these. So I have a box in the basement, a Rubbermaid bin, and it has all my taxes information. And then once I can shred it, I can reuse this little folder. Important also to say that when my accountant is my husband's aunt and she lives in a different city. So what I do is when tax season comes along, I will complete this grid, taking all the receipts from here and making sure they're in the right categories. I email her this grid and she does all my taxes. She trusts that what I have on there is recorded in here, and I double check before submitting it to her. So if ever I was to get it audited, I would print out this sheet, I would pull out this folder, and boom, voila, all is good. So let's go through each category so that you can learn what you can claim, and then and we'll go from there. So as you can see in this folder, it says 2018 taxes. You put your name and your address. In here, you would put the different contracts you made. So I just have Monat Global and my ministry T4. But if you do other contracts, you would also put them in here. And then paper type, sometimes I put contract or whatever, depending what my proof of income is. So you can hear Alina in the background. It's okay. She's just trying to fall asleep on her own. So hopefully it doesn't get too hectic. So capital cost allowance. So I put check percentage allowed, and I check this with my accountant. So basically it's things that depreciate value. So let's say I bought a computer in 2017. I wouldn't declare the whole income, the whole expenditure on these taxes. She would split it up between 3 years because it depreciates in value every year, and accountants know this. So if you're unsure, just ask. That's what I understand from it anyways. The other thing is if you're buying a car for work or software, audio video equipment. So obviously this one day I'd love to get better lighting so that I'm nice and crisp and it adds professionalism to my video. I could put that down here. If I buy an office chair, which I didn't like this one, but it was on sale. It's my racing car. But anyways, it's super comfortable. I could put it in here. Okay, next is business use of home. So if you're meeting clients at your house, or you have a showcase, or you're working obviously from a computer somewhere, so you can declare a percentage of your floor space. I believe, I can't remember exactly if it's you have an office in your home. I think it's something like 15%, but check with your accountant. I also forget this amount. Basically, they'll put an amount that is low enough that it doesn't flag the auditors. Like if you said 100% of my home is for the business, they'd be like, okay, what is this business? But if you have a room inside your house, that's your office, that's your meeting room with MPs or with potential clients, or where you do wine and washes, then that percentage can be an office and part of the kitchen, right? So they'll describe what you use your home for, and they'll be able to tell you what what floor space is covered. So in this floor space, you get part of your rent if you're renting, your part of your utilities, your taxes, so property taxes, I guess, insurance, and maintenance and cleaning. So these are all things that can be declared a certain percentage for your business. Next, business tax fees. So memberships and professional groups. Example, Monat. So the first year Monat paid our subscription, but moving forward, we will have to pay, I think it's $19.95, about $20 annually. So you could declare that fee here. Maintenance and repairs, so of office equipment, printer, computer, clothing alterations, repairs, dry cleaning. So for instance, I'm going to Washington, I have a dress, I will have to get it dry cleaned before going. I would keep that receipt and stick it in here. Again, you can see an HST column. That's just because my prior business, I was able to declare HST, whereas now I cannot, but I keep it in here because I'm sure I will be using it soon. Just throwing it out there. Okay. Next, delivery and freight. So postage, courier post. So if you're shipping things to VIPs, or a VIP wasn't happy and you're trading a product, you can keep those receipts. Or if you had a giveaway and you're sending samples out, all that goodness, you can keep those receipts and put it in there. I just noticed that I have little notes here. So capital cost allowance. Did you buy a cell phone, computer, mirror, lighting gear for videos? These are all things that can be plugged in. Business of your home. Oh, see, I put it there. So right. 15% of the space can be declared. Business tax fees, membership in personal groups. I also put lip sense memberships for other things related to your business. So like I'm wearing lip sense right now, maybe I can declare that I need those cosmetics for my live videos to help make them more professional. And in maintenance and repairs, computer updates, virus checks, alterations to clothes used for your work, example, when hosting an event. So those are all little things there. Delivery and freight, that one's good. And fine, okay, back on track. Meals and entertainment. So meals while on tour, that's when I worked in theater, but would go under travel. So don't forget that one. But 50% of meals bought through trying to earn income, either networking, interviews, work meals, meetings, can be declared. So let's say you went to Mississauga for a Meet Monat event. You could, and if you stopped for, I don't know, A&W, you could put that receipt in here as you were networking, trying to grow your business and attending training. If you are doing a party at home, you can do, and you're doing a grocery, let's say you're doing a wine and wash, you have booze, you have hors d'oeuvres, you have cheeses, a bunch of stuff. So you would write on the back of the receipt who was at the party, just as proof. If ever you're audited, you can really keep track of this was a wine and wash and these were the people who attended. Okay. Then motor vehicle. So you can't declare any fines, or and you must keep a kilometer tracking system. The reason this is so important is because the easiest way for Revenue Canada to kind of catch small businesses, the first thing they will go after is the kilometer tracking, because most people don't, and most people submit a lot of receipts for this. So they can really do an audit and adjust that specific part, whereas the other part, tabs are a bit harder to monitor for them. So that if you are using your car, you have to keep track of when you started your kilometers and when you ended, what was the trip purpose. Okay, so what you want to do is go to files, and then you will see I've just now uploaded vehicle cost report filing for taxes. It kind of looks like this. So you would enter your reporting period. So I just did January 1st, which I wasn't even in business. So it would be October 8th or something to December 31st. And then I would fill in the information to reflect my vehicle. And then you would put the day and the month you used the vehicle, your name. You don't have to do this. This spreadsheet is for people with various drivers. Trip purpose. So you could say wine and wash. You could say delivering samples. You could say delivering product, going for training, etc. Going to Washington for momentum. Who knows? And then destination. So from your house to whatever destination, and you would put the starting odometer and ending odometer. There is a formula in all these gray cells. So when you do the starting odometer and the ending, it'll calculate everything for you, which is beautiful. And then if you're stopping for gas while you're going on training, you could always put the vendor, the location, the receipt number. You could do the receipt number part at the end of the year if you want, and you could put the quantity, the cost. You could put all that. If you complete this and you get audited, you will have a way easier time at finding out to being legit, because you have this tracking system. So when you're at motor vehicle in this Excel sheet, make sure you fill out the kilometers. That sheet is a legal size paper. It easily fits into your glove box so that you can jot that information down. Now, let's say you had to backtrack because you weren't keeping track this whole time and you did lots of deliveries. Just put it in Google Maps, do the start and end of where you went, and then write those kilometers down in your tracking sheet and just kind of backdate and do it approximately. But moving forward, the more legit you are, the less stressed you will be. Okay, now office equipment, number 8. So large equipment and computer software would go under capital cost allowance, which is section 1. So in here, you're thinking paper, stationery supplies, small equipment. So let's say you're getting sample bottles from Dollarama, that could go into office equipment. Let's say you are getting pens or ribbons or tape or whatever, that would go in office equipment. Now, supplies, so vitamins, supplements, if prescribed, clothes for work, hair care, makeup for work. So the vitamins and the supplements was more when I was acting. In this case, we would think clothes for work, hair care, makeup for work. So again, if you're going to a special event or there's a dinner, there's a neat Monat and you want to look a little snazzy, you could put a receipt for a dress in there. And same thing for hair care and makeup for work. So now under travel, oh, and let's say hair care, hello, how many bottles do we buy to try the product out so we know how to recommend it to our clients? That would go in there. Okay, 10, fares, hotels, per diems, accommodations, and costs related to travel. Meals at 50% when you're traveling for work, taxis out of town, accommodations for work away from principal residence. So all that goodness. If you're going to, I am going to Washington, I will put all that, I will keep all those receipts and plug them in there, and my accountant will be able to give me the best return possible based on my receipts. Finally, telephone utilities. So we use our cell phones every day for all of the many follow-ups we have to do. So what you want to do is print your phone records. Yes, you do, because you want to do that before you get audited. When you're getting audited, I'm not saying you will, but I'm saying if it happens and you have those printed out, you will be way less stressed than if 3 years down the line, they're like, oh, we're auditing you or something. And then you have to find those phone records and then the company doesn't have them online that far back. You're going to be stressed. So if you can be proactive, that's the best way to do it. I say all this, but I haven't printed mine. I'm working on it. So technically, we're supposed to highlight every phone call that was made for work. This would be the best practice. And if you know it, perfect. Basically, the accountant would take a percentage of your phone bill based on how many phone calls you make. That is that. Professional development. So if you're taking classes to improve online webinars, events, so I don't know if you're signed up for the Ray Higgins stuff, or there's so many motivational people for MLM businesses out there, you could submit that receipt there, and that's that. Advertising. So this is showing how old this form is. Demo tapes. That's not relevant to us now. That's when I was acting. But you would definitely headshots if you've gotten those done, business cards, printing out resumes. Resumes is a little less, but anything, if you're boosting a post on Facebook, if you're putting up an ad on somewhere, you could put it in there. Okay, so that's all the categories that you can claim expenses for your small business. This document, as well as the vehicle cost report, are both uploaded to MP Squad. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me. I've been using this system since 2009, and it's so easy to do my taxes, especially if you do this at the end of each month. You just go through your folder and you're like, okay, I stuck all the receipts in the first compartment. You pull those out, and then you write down wine and wash, who was there, depending what you need to track, depending on which category the receipt belongs to. And then you just stick it in the right folder. And then at the end of the month, you can say, okay, I'm going to make sure all these are accounted for on this Excel grid. And really, if you do that, you're working probably 15 minutes. And at the end of the year, when it's time to file your taxes, stress-free, you just hand it in. If you do your taxes yourself, like with QuickBooks or tax man, I don't know. Just can't help you because I don't do it that way, but I know it's super easy as well. And I think that program is $80 at Costco or something. Hey MP Squad, I was just editing this movie and I realized that I forgot something pretty important. So on top of tracking your expenditures, which I've now refreshed this document on the MP Squad page. So you will see at the very bottom here, you can see the tab expenditures. So that's everything I just explained. And I've added a second tab. It says income. So when you click on that, you will see that, let me just bring that, open that up a bit. So Denise in a video had said to keep 30% of your earnings aside for taxes. So I haven't found my taxes yet, so I don't know if that is accurate, but she's the top in Canada, so I presume she's right. I have no doubt, actually. So on the income, you can see I made a quick grid. I started in October, so I've only started it there, but it has every Friday of the year. And on the 15th, I added yellow for our monthly bonus. And note here in November that, in December, we got a paycheck on the 15th as well as the bonus. That's why it repeats twice. So you want to plug in your paychecks and your monthly bonuses here to know what your grand total is, and you should keep 30% of that grand total for taxes. So that's it. We could go back to the video because now the information is complete. So that's that. Good luck. Ask me any questions. See you later.